What's good? It's your boy Czar, all rights reserved. Right now, we about to talk about Takeoff, suspect, the guy who's accused, saying that he's innocent, and he had a large amount of cash on him, but was headed to Mexico's borders, but was caught meanwhile. But let's stay objective, as we always do here, and let's get into with scripture. Now, let's talk about it. This is innocence that is actually proclaimed as guilty in public eye. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is formed against me thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against me, judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Look, when you're a worker of God and you're doing his will, you're going to be proclaimed as guilty in many situations when you actually are innocent. This is the normality. They did the same thing to Christ. That's how they denied him. They said, you're not the Son of God. You're not the man that, and he was committing all these miracles and different things. They still were accusing him. And it was the people who didn't want to believe him. This is normality in situations. Sometimes we're going to find that us as believers, you're going to be accused of things you may not be really guilty of. But that's the normal thing. Because when you serve Jesus Christ, you got to go through the life. Because you serve him, you will be condemned as he was, because he was the truth, but they treated him like he was nothing. But let's really get into it. Matthew chapter 5 verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So whether they know you or not, just because you carry the righteous spirit of Christ with you, you're going to be accused of many things. People are going to come against you. It's going to be an onslaught. I know in life, it's going to be crazy. Even for me, it's crazy. You got to say to yourself, Lord, you told me turn the other cheek. I'm going to turn the other cheek. You got to repeat it to yourself. It's hard, but you got to do it. That is what God says you must do. Do what God says and pray for all manners of instance against you. He'll change the spirit of others around you. He'll do it. Trust and believe. Okay. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 9. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. So because you gain the knowledge of the Lord, you'll be delivered. He'll bring a peace over you in the midst of the storm. So you'll be accused. People will be bashing you, berating you wherever you are, but he'll bring peace over your spirit because you trust in him. You got to just trust and believe. You got to put up with it because that's what Christ did. And because the way the devil roams like a lion, he's going to try and get somebody to come against you, but pray and stay faithful unto the people around you. Don't think harm against them, bad at them. Just say, Lord, please. The Lord to come and calm the waters. He always does. Okay. Romans chapter 12, verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Again, we spoke about that. You don't want to bring wrath and say, I'm going to get revenge. You don't move that way. Ask the Lord to help lead you, because it'll be sometimes you get wrath and then regret it later. But let the Lord lead you, because he'll lead it in peace. Will calm the waters. He'll bring you and reward you for you working through it. So you got to stay faithful to your reward. James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. So when diverse temptations come upon you, they can be in any situation. You want to stay faithful to God to defeat them. Knowing this, what the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. So you'll want for nothing when you have the Lord on your side. You'll want for nothing. He'll have a way and find a means for you to get stuff. Like randomly, I just went to the store. A woman walked up to me out of nowhere, just handed me money for no reason, handed me a few dollars. I was like, man, I'm going to get lunch. And I'm like, why she just give me the money for lunch? How'd she give me lunch money? Sometimes it's angels. You got to be faithful and kind. Sometimes it's an angel and you don't even know. I walked back. I couldn't see her. She was nowhere to be found. I turned, I'm like, why this woman? She was gone. And I went out the park, gone. You can't play around. God will do things and he'll really help you in times of need. You got to be faithful to him and trust that he'll make a way. And it did work out, because I got there and I was like, man, I had my card. I was like, dang, I didn't have the amount I thought I had on the card I had. But then I'm like, well, she just gave me cash. I could just use the cash. It worked out. You never know. First Peter 3:9, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. Do things not to be rewarded, but he'll give you a blessing anyway. You don't do it to get the blessing. You do it from the heart. You do it because we're Christ-like. Do it because you're thinking like Christ. But expect the blessing. He's going to come through. Know he'll come through. He'll come through for you. Believe. Okay? Bottom line. Psalms 109, verse 2. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against thee. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. So he said they spoke against him with a lying tongue. So if you believe in him, people will speak against you with a lying tongue. But stay faithful. God will calm the waters and bring the truth out. And when the truth comes out, the people that made the lie are going to regret it, because God is not mocked. He stands apparent on everything he speaks. Okay, he's not a liar. He's no joke. Jeremiah chapter 20, this new one, verse 11. But the Lord is with me as a mighty, terrible one. Therefore my persecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. So the thing is, people will come against you, and they'll come against you for a situation, and they'll be for the mighty, terrible one, who we know is Satan. That's who they move with. But because you got the Lord, you got that peace, and your persecutors will stumble, and they'll mix themselves up, and they can't prevail, because when God's with you, who can be against you? Come on now. That's how he speaks to people. Now let's get this one. Luke chapter 6, verse 27. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, turn the other cheek. Seriously, a lot of people want revenge. They're like, oh, you did that, I'm gonna do this. Don't do it. Stay calm. God will deal and fight your battle. Sometimes he'll go into the person's heart and say, why did you do that? Instead of you want to rage, he goes in speaking kind. Why did you do that? You know they didn't do that. And then the person will feel convicted. That's how God works. Trust in him. Do not take it upon your own self. James chapter 1, verse 2. My brother, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptation. We're always going to be tempted as long as we're alive. From birth to death, you're tempted to do different things, to think different ways, to make certain moves. You're always going to be in temptation. But stay faithful to God, and he'll do his best to help you to defeat the temptation. It's hard, but keep fighting. Fight the good fight every day in the spiritual lane. That's how he works with you. So this next one, I'm trying to get the one I want to see. Okay. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 30. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm. So the thing is, you're not supposed to just pick up drama with people. See, some people live for drama. You're not supposed to just pick up drama with a person just to have it. You need to have a reason, if at all. But if you strife with somebody with no drama apparent, God will destroy you. If you're a person that goes around starting drama, God's going to destroy you eventually, because he doesn't want that. He wants people faithful and that are unto learning and doing greater things. But if you're going to continue to move that way, he only gives you so many chances. Then he'll make a chance where the person you do it to gets really violent and takes your life, or a situation where you think you're getting away with it and you get exposed, or a situation where you are always trying to do this to different people. You come across the wrong people where you try and set strife up and God wipes you out. He doesn't play with that. Let's do this. Oh, good one. Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So that's my thing. And that works into what we're talking about. Exactly. And that's how God works. Look, the communication with those people, God, I don't know you well, but for you to have been there and even be considered to have been involved in the situation, you had evil communications with bad people. That's your fault altogether. You should have never been there. You put yourself in a place to be around people who do evil things. You communicated with evil people, so you stirred up evil. So when you were with them hanging out in the other place, you enjoyed it because there was no drama, or the drama you guys got through, or someone else took the fall. But now that it's you, you feel some type of way. It's not me. I'm innocent. You're screaming this, but they're not hearing it. It's because you're evil communications. You're communicating with people who are evil, that don't think good. They don't want to do good. They just want to do evil. Because you're around there, now you're in a court case. Now you're being accused of murder. Now you're in a drama, making a run for your life with a big bag of money. That's what happens. You gotta make the devil flee from you. You don't go where he tells you. You don't hang out with people who are doing unsavory things because it's cool. You'll take the fall with them. It'll be over for you, young man. And this like now, you're scared saying I didn't do it. But at the end of the day, it looks like you did. Everybody sees it and looks like you did. To even me, it looked like you did. So how are you going to prove your innocence? You hung around bad people who were evil, doing evil things, communicating in evil ways, looking to strife, looking to pull out a gun and shoot somebody. Now you're dealing with the drama on the backside. No one's going to step up and take that for you. You got to move better and be around better people with better qualities. That's your problem. And that is your fault. You got to choose your friends wisely. That's bottom line. You feel me? Now let's get to this other one real quick. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 5 to 6. Okay, here we go. Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words. Test lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of people are going to add to the word, say, oh, also you can do this. Oh, did you know about that? Some people are going to try and take away from it. Oh, no, you surely, like Satan did, you surely will not be destroyed if you bite at the apple. In Genesis, the beginning, he was a liar from the start. That's why God said that, because he told a lie. God said you surely shall be destroyed. He said, surely you shall not be destroyed. That's lying, because he told them you will. Right here, he's saying, thou be found a liar. If you reprove the word, you got to reprove yourself. But if you change and reproof the word to what you want it to mean and not the pure word as it's written, you are building your own grave. Okay, you can't play like that. When it comes to God's words, you got to say it how it's said and stand on it if you're a believer. But if you're not, you really got to look in your heart and pray, because not being a believer, you're open field for the devil. The devil can dance on you. The thing is, let me ask you guys something. Why would the devil bring drama to a person that's doing his work? Why would he do that? Because it's only the people who's doing the right thing he wants to attack. But here's the thing. He's selfish. And eventually, if he gets mad, here's where the drama comes. He'll end you. Let me say the situation. I remember there was some guy, okay? And he had a problem with me for some sort of reason. I believe because I was African American, but I have a lot of Caucasian friends, so I don't know what that was about. And the thing about this is, eventually, his strife with me, content with me. You know, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to, but he wanted to keep talking like he wanted to do it. I eventually left it alone. He ended up running across somebody else who took him by his word on what he said. I saw he wasn't about what he said, but this person took him at his word, wiped him out. That's how quick it can happen. These people think that they're hard, that it's tough, that they're good with it, that everything's okay because the devil isn't attacking them. But he's not attacking you because he's saving you for later. Like, he's a very evil deity, okay? He plays with his victims, and his victims are the people doing his work. He can't make a Christ believer a victim because God is there with you. You can't serve two masters. He can't be there if God's there. So he only really torments the people that's doing his work, but he'll try and use them to attack you. But you got to pray and keep God in mind. That's why he says pray for your enemies. You always should pray for your enemies, no matter what, because you don't know how God's going to deal with them. You don't know. So you don't want to play around with it. That's why you don't wish bad on people. You don't start doing all this hex stuff. Like, people like to do spells. You don't do none of that. You pray for your enemies, because if God comes upon them and wipes them out, you're going to feel bad. So up front, pray for your enemies. That's number one. First and foremost. Don't wish bad on no one. You always pray. And that's why he says, turn the other cheek. People are like, turn the other cheek. Yes, because God is real. He's real as my hand. He's real as the sky, real as the air you breathe. All rights reserved.